The capacity to comfort others are probably one of the most important quality to have when we are a therapist. With knowledge, we are capable to become a friend, to be there like a father, like a mother, to help people, to support them, to understand, and to change, transform their ordeals into a lesson, into something that will make them grow and change profoundly. One day we understand that evil is educational. And in the DSSI training and in the dynamics of dream interpretation and symbolic language, this is very important to understand this part of how the universe builds and prepare evolution for all of us. Understanding that evil is educational changes completely who we are and our relationship with situation and problems. When we have a problem, we shouldn't fight. We should learn from it. We should heal. We should find a solution instead of becoming angry or disorganized. People are not good to handle problems. And when we are a therapist, at first, we have work on ourselves. A spiritual therapist and a specialist in dream interpretation is someone that will have go within themselves. Because an important aspect also of being a therapist is you cannot help others if you have not worked on yourself very deeply to learn about many dynamics that we will study during our DSSI class. So I would like to welcome you for this seminar, this 2-day seminars that will be, I'm sure, a new step in your life. Some of you are starting the DSSI for their first year. And this is a profound journey. And the most important thing to know is that you cannot help others with their emotions, their way of thinking, their behaviors, and their memories if you have not done this for yourself. So yes, through the DSSI training, we become specialists in dream interpretation and symbolic language, but we become also specialists of ourselves. And through the years of this training, for those who will continue, because you have always the choice to decide each year if you continue. But each year will be like hundreds of years of existence. You will see the transformation is very powerful. We mutate when we have profound spiritual knowledge. And dream interpretation is so extraordinary and so unique because it is no one that is telling you what to do. It is you. You receive within yourself, through your dreams, through the understanding of signs, and that there's no coincidence in life, because life is a school. With every situation, every relationships, it's a test to develop a new quality. The existential question that we find when we study dream interpretation is very, very important to know. It is even a key that will open the doors to the universe and to a new way of living. So what is the reason why we exist? This is what we find in dreams, in the studying of symbols, the archetypes, the constructions, the mathematics of consciousness. Why do we exist? To develop qualities. This is the basic of dreams and realities. Life. Your life, in fact, is a dream. Do you know that? How come? Because now, in science, this is proven. Everything is energy. In physics, if you take a microscope and you look at matter, whatever it is, metal, a rock, a bone, anything solid, absolutely anything that can be fluid is an energy. When you look in the microscope, there is no structure to matter. Wow. There's no structure. So imagine, yes, this is a density. Yes, it seems to be very concrete here. But actually, it's not concrete. It's energies everywhere. In you, around you, everything is energy. Wow. Understanding that makes us realize that our life is a dimension, one dimension. When you enter in matter, because in dreams, I'm sure many of you have experienced dreams that are so real that when you wake up, it's like, it takes 3-4 seconds just to know what is life, because the dream was so real. The feeling, the touching, the sight, everything in a dream, the wind, everything. You touch a flower, it's like touching a real flower. Yes, of course, there are also dreams that are sometimes more light, or images seems to be far. It's like a vision. It's not very clear. Maybe you don't see the colors sometimes. It's true. But the more we enter in dreams, the more we develop our capacity to dream. One day, there's no difference. And you can even do lucid dreaming in meditation. And we will study and learn that through the DSSI training, Dream Science Symbol Interpretation. The UCM Teaching and Research Center is the #1 school in the world for symbolic language and dream interpretation. We offer now classes in many countries and different languages also. The platform, the websites of UCM is like ranking in the #1s, most visited website in the world for dream interpretation. And this is amazing. This This is like all the professors and assistant professors and volunteers are so devoted all together for our nonprofit organization. And this is a real honor for me to be with you today and to begin this journey that will transform your life. Dream interpretation is so important, essential to exist. Unless we just live for matter, we live in a superficial way. We don't know why we exist. And then we can do all kinds of things that are not necessarily good or right just because we need to survive, just because we need to have a job or to be in a couple and to have families, to follow the same lifestyle that everybody wish to manifest. But when we become spiritual, we reach another level of existence because it should always be the qualities first and the quantities second. The spirit, the qualities, who we are inside, should be first before matter. That doesn't mean matter. We're not learning things from matter. Of course, we have a body. We are here for a reason. But instead of thinking matter is first and the spirit is second, we need to understand that it's like an architect. An architect cannot build a building without the blueprint of the plan. You need to prepare a plan before you realize something. It is the same thing. Your thoughts, your emotions, your memories creates your behaviors, creates your reaction, your impulsions, the way you are, the way you build your life. So during our 2 days seminar, all together, we will study the importance of understanding comfort, consolation. Because when we are a therapist, when we have worked on ourselves, we bring peace with us. We bring our wisdom, our love, our kindness, our qualities. And when people are attracted or they have this wish to receive information, advice, we become like a father, a mother at that moment. And this is something very sacred that has to be done and that has to be also studied to do this right and to respect also the movement of and the spiritual autonomy of the person. They are therapists sometimes. They are more like football coach, and it's too much like, you can do this, you're capable, go, go, go. Wow, this person is not happy, whatever, do what you want, don't think about others. It is you, you're a winner. Hyperpositivism. Pushing, forcing things to happen never lead to happiness. You cannot force someone to love you. You cannot force to sign a contract. It has to be done the right way, with wisdom. And we will study that very deeply during this year with the different themes that we will study in our seminars. And essentially, this training, one of the most precious aspects that this training will bring you, is to have every week the possibility to do your dream analysis and submit your work, your analysis to your professor and an assistant professor that are working together to bring the best of the best for you and then you receive the revision, and it's amazing. And the transformation and the all the steps that we do when we do the DSSI training. So, what is consolation? Consolation is, and comfort are qualities that are fundamentals for evolution and for the capacity to understand something deeply, to develop emotional intelligence, spiritual intelligence. And consolation, comfort, support are there since we were a baby. A mother, a father with their child, they are always creating this relationship where if you need me, I'm there. And when you fall, I help you to walk again. When you cry, I am there for you. But for that, and to become a therapist, you need to be very strong. Because it is one thing to help someone, because anybody can help. But how do you help? And do you know that helping can also create a depression, a burnout for someone? If you don't know how to help, you can empty your batteries. And why do you empty your batteries? How come? Because true help is giving us energy. It doesn't empty the batteries. When you empty your batteries, when you help someone, when you support something, it's because you have not done this properly. You have done this to be acknowledged, to receive love, to please others. It was not done with love. When we love, we don't count, we are patient, we take time, we understand the process. And when we help, often, because we have a lack of knowledge, we can be disturbed. You can help someone, for example, you talk to your sister and she's going through a divorce and you help her. And every time you go back home after that, you feel exhausted. Oh, so intense. Why? Because when you help her, when you say, oh yeah, oh, he was like this, he was like that, and this and that, poor you and this, you have resonance. Your memories are afraid of lacking love, of losing love. You have memories related to separation, division, lost. So when you try to help the other person, you feel exhausted, you feel bad eventually. Or you go to the other extreme where you are like pushing, like doing the job of a superhero, but not in the right way, to save the other person and to say it's not your fault, it's him or it's her. And then it's always like a war that you start in the energy of the person so she can come back strong because it's not her or it's not him. No. A real help is to understand, okay, you're going through a problem, but you have something to learn from this problem. You cannot just say you got divorced and he cheated on you, and he left you for another woman, and you were perfect in the marriage. It's not true. It's not true. And telling the person that she was perfect and he was the bad guy, it's not helping. It's not helping. It's not changing the person. When she was in the relationship, then you ask, you say, okay, how was your relationship? What was happening in the marriage? How come you are now facing this situation, this separation? What happened? Oh, he did this, he did that, he did this. Okay, yeah. But you, what did you do? Oh, I was okay. I was doing this for him, doing this for him, and this and that. I was there, I was this. Okay. Yeah. But when was the last time you just kissed him gently and give him a hug? Oh yeah, but we are busy, we have the children, we have this, I have my job, and I have to cook and this and that. And look at you. You don't even comb your hair anymore. You don't even take care of yourself. How come? You don't have anything to learn from this? Are you sure? And what about love? Making love? When was the last time? Oh, a long time ago. And he cheated on you? Of course, he's not right. I understand it's not right to do that. He's abandoning you with the children and everything. It's not right. It's complicated. It's a lot of suffering. But you have a share of responsibility. Helping needs to talk about that. And did you receive a dream? Did you receive a dream? Ask for a dream. Ask the universe. Ask, why is it happening to me? You see, consolation at the first stage, because there are different stages, for sure. First stage, when someone is like crying and this and that, you don't say to the person, what is your sign? Have you received a dream? No. The person is crying. You touch the person. She's crying on your shoulder. You receive that energy. It's not time to do philosophy. Not yet. Just you are receptive of this energy. You listen. Sometimes words are not important at the beginning of consolation. Then the tears have come out. Then the person starts to breathe again. Then, would you like to have a glass of water? Are you okay? You give a tissue, the person is okay, this, that. Then, okay, I'm glad you're here. Glad we can talk. Glad that you have called me. Then you have empathy, compassion. You don't give knowledge too fast. Slowly, slowly, slowly. When someone is hurting, your child is hurting his knee because he ran and then he fell, etc. You don't say, oh, you see, I told you, he's crying, my knee, mama, my knee, oh, my knee, mama, my knee, and he cries and cries. You don't tell him right away, I told you, you shouldn't do this and that and this. No, he's crying. No philosophy, no lessons. Hug. Love you, love in a general way. Universal love, understanding of experience, it's normal. Every children will do this eventually, probably. It's normal. You have wisdom. You don't panic. You de-dramatize. There are parents, they don't have the right knowledge to raise a child, raising a child, making him always better than yesterday. It's not by scolding or being intense and you have done this and that. No. Okay, after, when we do consolation and comfort and support, we need to master the knowledge. We need to understand what we do, how we say it, because we know right away that evil is educational. We know there's always small problems here and there. It's normal. It's normal. Your apartment has been freshly painted. Okay, good, beautiful, great. But renovation will come again in X numbers of years. And it's normal after maybe 8 years, 10 years, 20 years, whatever, to refresh again. So there's always things to renew and steps to do in life. And we attain happiness, stability, when one day we understand that evil is educational. But there's always a reason why something is happening. And with dream interpretation, you can go to the root cause. You can ask questions in dreams. You will see what we will learn all together. To use dreams to receive answers, because dreams are so advanced. It's like what I call the Skynet. It's like an engine, a search engine. The most advanced AI, artificial intelligence. Instead of artificial is spiritual intelligence. SI. And in dreams and in meditation, you can enter in Skynet, and one day you can ask any questions about love, business, family, how to raise your children. How come I have this problem? What is the solution? Why is this happening to me? You use dreams to understand life, to study, to improve knowledge. You have this in you. We all have this in ourselves. Even if we don't remember dreams, we all receive dreams. It's just because we have never said to ourselves it is important. As soon as it is important and you program, you wish to receive dreams, you will receive dreams. And that is why, combined to the teaching integrated in the DSSI training, you have mantras, the power of mantras to trigger the opening of dreams. The traditional study of angels is the most ancient knowledge related to dreams. That's why angels are part of all religions and traditions. You have angels in Buddhism, you have angels in Christians, tradition, Jewish, Islam, Hinduism. Everywhere angels are described because it's a symbol. The wings explain what happens when a human becomes spiritual. Activate another level of consciousness, the supra consciousness. Then you start not just to be in your body. You can travel in the multi-dimension of the universe. And multi-dimensions are not just linked to metaphysics. They are also very concrete. it is studied now in physics. And we use this in technologies all the time. Just to send a satellite, just to use our smartphones. There's no cable. We use Bluetooth systems, frequencies, energies. You see, everything is energy. We now use energy all the time. And energy can be transformed and can be used to communicate. Not just with objects, but also with ourselves. We have the most advanced smartphones in us. We don't know often. We don't know how powerful it is. One thing that is very important also in the DSSI training that we will study together to become eventually an expert in symbolic language and also relationships and in the dynamics to help others to reach their full potential. Becoming a therapist is something very, very profound and very advanced. So, knowing that nothing happens by coincidence in life. In dreams, you see a defragmentation of your consciousness through different symbols. The symbols are expressing yourself or are explaining what is happening or what will happen in the future, etc. So symbols are used to explain things and profoundly connect the message of the dream. In life, it's the same thing. The color of your car means something, or if you do that kind of work, the way you decorate your apartment, everything you are. When you are attracted by this music band or by this movie, there are types of people that have the same qualities or weaknesses that will have the same behaviors, the same wishes. For sure. If you go to a heavy metal concert with aggressive music, a lot of violent music, and there's this in a stadium, you will see that this band has attracted, with the music they do, they have attracted people that have resonance with aggressivity or a lot of intensity. There's a lot of anger in that music. You cannot listen to this over and over and be so happy to buy a ticket that costs sometimes a fortune to go to see a music band that will just scream and say ugly things. If you don't have this in you, in your thoughts, in your memories, you have this anger, you're not happy about something, and this vehicle is the music band. So through the resonance, a resonance means you connect with something. It can be positive, a resonance, and it can be negative. And it can be a tendencies, a little bit of both, of positive and negative. We resonate. Everything you do means something, but it goes very far because the universe is a AI, a spiritual intelligence. The biggest computer that you can imagine, with love and wisdom and all the qualities. And we live inside this matrix that connects everything at every moment. So in life, there's no coincidence. Never, never. Life is made of reaction. One thing leads to another. So being a therapist is also understanding that very profoundly. There's no coincidence. And now we will see a testimony that we will watch in the video together. And that young man, it's very touching. He's talking about the fact that he has never known his father. And in the video, he has made research and he has succeeded to find him. And he's about to find him. And he's going through all kinds of powerful emotions because of that, of course. But there's a reason why, when we are a DSSI therapist, a spiritual therapist, we understand that this young man has attracted this kind of father with the qualities of that father, but with also the problems, the weaknesses, the reasons why he was abandoned. And sometimes, yes, the only way to understand something that can happen in our life is because we know that we have done something in this life or in a past life.
I never had anyone I looked up to that I thought I want to be like when I grow up.
I'm 29.
But I need that man in my life. I need to be able to say the word dad to him.
There's my dad.
His full name is Edilson Santos, but my mum said that people called him Ed or Eddie, and he was from Brazil.
Shortly after becoming pregnant, Anne made the decision to leave Manhattan and return home to Dublin to have her baby. With 3,000 miles between them, Anne and Eddie drifted apart, and Anne's life moved on.
This is the one photo I have. I look the exact same as him. It's weird to think that he is out there and that he's my dad, but I've not met him. I thought about my dad a lot. I was bullied in school, always felt out of place. The one thing that always made me feel good was that the picture I had of my dad, I looked the exact same as him, and I just always thought, oh, I look like you. I'm so happy that there's someone out there I'm like. I felt like I belonged, and I felt like I wanted to find him and tell him, you made me feel good about myself without even doing anything. You know, just being you made me feel good about being me.
He launched a social media campaign, but despite thousands of shares, the search hit a brick wall.
I need to find him. I'm scared if anything's happened to him. Just not ever getting to see him. I want to hear him say, you're my son, and I'm your dad, because then I know that he loves me.
You've got a picture, you've heard the voice, but you've never met your dad. What's that been like?
It is just the one picture, but I've had to imagine me in the picture, growing up, swimming, going to school, and I've just kind of put myself there with him.
What do you want from him?
I want a dad. You know, I want to be able to say to him, hi, Dad. Just to say the word. I've never been able to say that to anyone.
Well, you can, because we found him.
Oh, you never said that. I'm so happy. I know I'm crying, but I'm so happy. Oh, wow. Because it's terrified of finding out bad news.
Well, he was sick. He had cancer.
Oh, my God.
But actually, he did make a good recovery.
Did he say that he wants to see me?
He'd love to see you. He is so thrilled that you came to look for him.
Oh, my God. It feels like it's not real. Oh, God. Wow.
I'll show you something.
This is something he wrote. Oh, wow. Oh, my dear son, how are you? Finally, my prayers were answered. I would think about you every day. I knew inside me I would find you like never lost hope. There are no words to describe my happiness, love, your father. God, he did want to be in my life.
It's your dad.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm the exact same.
Look at the nose and everything.
Yeah, everything.
What's up, beautiful? Boy. My boy.
Whoa. This is...
Dad, my boy. I'm so proud of you. Your mom did a good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, have a seat with you.
God, I feel like I'm looking at me, but just
Yes, much older, right?
just a little bit older.
Yeah, I'm a bit older.
I was so scared that something had happened to you when I heard you were sick.
I had the cancer. I was in the hospital for a long time. The doctor told me, oh, no, you're gonna die. I refuse to die. I want to see my son before I die.
That's really amazing to hear that.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I still can't believe it. I'm in shock.
It's amazing to think that this is actually happening, like, because all I have of you is the one picture of...
Oh my God.
Anytime I was going through a tough time or I was really sad, I used to look at the picture, and even though you weren't physically there, there were so many times in my life that you were there. I wanted to say that to you in case you ever thought that you weren't.
It hurts me to not be able to be there for you, you know what I mean? When the time you need it. Oh, it's terrible, you know.
You were with me in my head, you were with me.
Yeah, my son, I am here for you now.
This is so touching, so profound. And when there are steps like this in life for a person, there's also a karma that is ending, a limitation, a suffering, a difficulty. And as we shared before watching this beautiful, profound, emotional moment, there are no coincidences in life. So, this son, this father, had to go through a long journey before they were able to meet again. So, let's ask deeply to ourselves, how come this young man has been abandoned? How come he has not been able to see his father? Yes, we can say that the parents, they were going through problems, whatever problems that happened. But how come it was created like this? That's how we can know that this young man has done the same in the past, in a past life. He has abandoned a child, and now to learn from this experience, he needs to live this. So if we study this also like a dream, we can understand that in dreams, if you find back your father, you find back also the importance of family, for sure. Because a family, the positive aspect of a family, the positive aspect of a dad or a mom, they are capable of doing anything, the best of the best, happens normally when you are a parent. You give yourself, you wake up at any moment in the night, you nourish someone, you work to feed, to have a home. There's a lot of efforts. And a family is also a representation of the universe. If you want to know what the universe is, you need to understand the masculine, the feminine, which is masculine emissivity in symbolic language, feminine is receptivity. So these two forces, the yin and the yang, the forces of life, are the origin of the universe, which is emissivity, receptivity. Atoms, energy, always do this process. And in a family, it is represented by a mom and a dad. The mom is the receptivity, the inner world, and the father is the external dynamics, the emissivity. Of course, a human has both polarities. The mother has a masculine energy inside and feminine in manifestation. I am, as a man, I have a feminine energy inside, masculine energy. We have both polarities. So this is very touching. And of course, this father went through a lot of things that we don't know in this story. We don't know the full story. But at the same time, the fact that they have been able to find each other creates a renewal, a new possibility, a new destiny also. Most people, when they have ordeals like this, when they are orphans, when they are having family problems, or when they have couple problems, work problems, etc., they will compensate. And I am sure this father has done this. So many things just to forget, just to try to work on a new chapter of life, putting this in the back memories. And if we know that we are here to develop qualities, we realize that when we don't follow the qualities, whatever degree, we end up having problems, issues. Small things sometimes, and then we continue and we make it bigger, and then eventually, then a real ordeal can happen. But at first, it's always within. It's always within. And so the father has something to learn from this, from his memories, from this life, from his past life. The son, the same thing, and the mother too. They were all in this circle of karma. The more we work on ourselves, the more we cleanse the memories, the more we liberate ourselves. And then we transform, we grow, we evolve, and we understand love, wisdom, and all the qualities at another level. Homecoming reunions are also very special. What I like when I think about life is to connect things. And any family in Brazil, in America, in Europe, in Africa, Asia, whatever continent, whatever country, a family will have things that they live the same. Whatever language, even the traditions, the cultures, the religions, whatever. But still, a family will have codes, things to live. We all need to eat, we all need to go to the toilet, we all need to sleep, We all need to help each other, love each other. So when we don't love, when we don't help, when we're not gentle, when we're not polite, when we're not respectful, all this can be lived in a family or in a country, which is a bigger family, or a company, which is also a family. And through the qualities, if the qualities are not respected, then you start to see different states of consciousness in a negative way. That will be the same. And it is so interesting. What I love about the amazing work of the 72 angels and the mantras that we can do to trigger dreams and to really develop a very advanced forms of meditation, it is to know that, for example, Yeyazel, the angel that we are going to work during these 2 days, the state of consciousness, is linked to consolation, comfort, being able to transcend a situation, support during difficult moments, etc. It's a state of consciousness that we need. But at the same time, this state of consciousness needs Kaliel, the justice, needs the family, Karakar, needs also the willpower to do this, which is Ve'uyah, number 1. And the 72 angels are a representation of the universal consciousness. So all states of consciousness are not separated. They are just separated for us to have references and to say, okay, I have to work on this, I have to understand this and this and this and this. But in fact, they are one. And we are like this also. For example, when I express an emotion, when I express something, it's not just what I say that is said. From what I say, from the words I use, there will be a vibration, there will be emotions, memories, ancient behaviors, all kinds of things linked to the same words. So you can say, I love you in a billion different ways and even more. The recipe of I love you, the I love you will be unique when you say it. It will be said with your memories, with your background, who you are. And that's why when we become spiritual, the first power we develop is sensitivity. Very, very powerful. We become very sensitive. And we need knowledge after that. Unless we can be disturbed, we can distance ourselves, or we can feel like, I need to become a monk because life is too intense or the world is disturbed, whatever. You don't understand that. If you feel disturbance, if you are stressed in the traffic, there are people that are in the traffic, they have no stress. I have no stress when I am in the traffic. I have patience, I can put in music, I can meditate, I can talk with the person with me. I accept the traffic. I don't fight it. I live it differently. But another person will focus on the stress because, of course, in the traffic, if you take the frequency of negative aspect related to traffic, you can find stress. So, homecoming and reunions, it can be done positively, negatively, a little bit of both. For example, your husband arrives or your wife arrives. And before you say, hello, how are you? How was your day? Then right away you say, what do we eat tonight? And then you arrive and it's like you had your day at work and everything, and the first thing you hear, instead of hello, I'm happy to see you, is, like a little animal asking, eating. No respect, no love, no kindness. And this will create a problem and a frustration and something. And you arrive, and instead of receiving a hug, you receive something else. And people don't understand that these small moments creates one day the big problems. An explosion never comes from just, a word. It comes from an accumulation. If you just say suddenly, for example, you have never said a negative word, and you say it to your father, your mother, whatever, and you just say a bad word, but you have never said it, you will see. When the person is going to hear the word, the person will be so surprised. She doesn't have any negative data regarding you, regarding the way you speak. So right away, she will not react. She will not panic. She will not attack. She will say, wow, that's weird. Why do you say that? But if you have said it many times and you have scale up the negative process of this dynamics, then he's ready to fight. He's ready to answer back. And then boom, 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 the explosions will come. So when you have a problem in a couple, in a relationship, this problem started a long time ago. It never started now. It's always accumulation. The weather is the same thing. It doesn't start to rain like this. It doesn't start to be sunny like this or to snow. It comes by a preparation. There are preparation of hot and cold system of airs and etc. and humidities and lots of things. So it's the same thing with us. Air is related to thoughts, water to emotions, and earth action. You see, fire energy, the 4 elements. Very important in dream interpretation. Fire is energy, air, thought, water, emotions, earth action. Manifestation. 4 elements are categories of symbols. Some people say there are 6 elements, which is fire is like separated in like ether or whatever, but we understand that fire can be a symbol of energy in general. So 4 elements are basic structure of symbolic language. Very important because they are categories of symbols. We need to relate to that when we have a dream. Support during initiations. This is an art to know how to do this. An initiation is a very beautiful terminology. And this terminology is explaining that when you have a problem, you are initiate to a new knowledge that you don't know. And in science, it's the same thing. When you make research, you have problems. You need to find problems. You need also to have them. Because you need to test in different ways and you need to put protocols in place to explain that when you do this, don't 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 do this. And if you just do this, no problem. This matter will be answering this way, doing this and that. So initiations should be always used every time you have a problem in life. You should say, this is an initiation. And it's very positive this way. I have something to learn from life. It's not the end of the world. I'm not panicking. I'm not becoming sad or mad, whatever. It's an initiation. It is a spiritual moment for my evolution. So initiation is not just when you are meditating or you are doing the next degree of Reiki or whatever. No. An initiation is linked to everything that is a challenge that you don't know or that you haven't been able to solve. And when you have succeeded in initiation, you are more intelligent, more wise, more wonderful. So learning to support others when they have initiations means, and this is very extraordinary when you do this in education for your children or in your couple, if you have not met someone already, then it can be with your family, anyways, at work, everywhere we have sometimes to support someone. That's going to be okay. You're capable. Good. Yeah. Fine. Let's see the positive of this. And if you become good at this, you're going to be a great leader in life. A great leader. Because a leader, a real leader, is someone that is never panicking when there are problems. He's always strong and he wants to find solution and help and support the process. Finding, explanation, connection, people that can join to help. That's what a leader is. Unity, bringing forces together. And a leader should always lead by example. Each ordeal comes to an end.
So there was a time when I was about to give up, and it was actually right before I met you guys. So I'm gonna get emotional. I had gone through something really rough, and family stuff, and sometimes that can get really hard. And I was forced to move away somewhere I had never been for my own good, and I knew no one, but I also blended in there, so no one really knew me at the beginning. But I met you guys, and you're so warm and such bright lights, and I'm so happy to know you, and I'm so glad you guys are here to spend this time with me, because it reminds me of that time and how far I've gotten and how far away I am from there now, because I found my lights and you guys helped me stick through it and turn my life around. So I'm just really thankful for that time.
Yes. An ordeal has always an end. And sooner or later, there will be a comprehension that will emerge from it. If you go through an ordeal, or if you know someone, that's so important to understand that. Evil is educational. Negative situations are there to find more positivity. Sometimes we need to have limitation. We need to lose someone, something, whatever, to know how important it was. We can so easily take things and people for granted. And the universe knows that. And the universe programs for us encounters of destinies. And when you have an ordeal, that's very essential to know that it's not because the universe has punished you. No. You created. You created this. If you become angry, of course, naturally, your anger will create sadness, problems, conflicts, because anger disorganizes things, creates oppositions. But who you are inside will also attract through the resonance people, situation. And this is what we can see in dreams. We can see that in dreams. We can see your programs in dreams. Why this thing happen? Ask for a dream. Then transform this, because your memories have created the situation. And the good things also, of course. Definitely. The liberating power of consolation. In some traditions, crying is not permitted, or it's not well seen or accepted. Often for men, a man cannot cry. No, a man can cry. Same as a woman. And it's healthy when it comes. But there is also the other angle of crying, which is nourishing the negative dynamics, where we put ourselves down, we destroy our self-esteem, we deprogram ourselves while we cry. While we cry, we say, oh yeah, but I'm not good, and I'm not this, and it's my fault, it's this, or it's him or her, and then you cry and cry with anger. Anger on yourself or anger on others. Then it's very even dangerous to do that, because crying increases the emotion, increase also information in your neurons to eventually, build highways of neurons of way of thinking that can lead to extremism or to certain action. So when we cry, it should be a meditation. It should be a moment where, yes, okay, we cry, but that's a force of liberation and of then, okay, and then we need knowledge. That's why when we are therapists and when we do consolation and when we comfort someone, yes, first steps, cry, we accompany the person, and then suddenly, slowly, progressively, we bring knowledge, reflection, and you will see the person will change right away with the power of words and wisdom and love, empathy, and compassion. Compassion is not something that means that you have pity for others. It's often not understood. Compassion is a very, very advanced form of emotion, linked to universal love and linked to a comprehension. Compassion is love with wisdom. It's like, I have compassion, so I'm touched by what you're going through, but I understand also that this was meant to be for you. That's what the real meaning of compassion is. And through compassion, you find empathy, which is also quite the same somehow, but we can say that empathy is, I live your experience through my experience, and I understand you through me because I went through this. I know what it is. I know it's difficult, but we can change that. I have changed it. You can change it. How can we console someone else? That's a good question. We should never console someone with pity. Pity is not helping a person. Pity will put down the other person, diminish the person. And also, it's kind of against the law of the universe. There's no pity. It's good for you. You will see. In advanced therapy, when the person is ready and you say, I know it's difficult, but it's good for you. And they start to laugh. They start to laugh because it's the opposite of what they think. And at the same time, it enlightens them. It enlightens them to the real meaning of the ordeal. You bring it back to the person. We apply the law of resonance. It's good for you. This is difficult, but it's good for you. It will make you more wise the next time. It will make you more, capable of understanding how to treat a situation like this. Maybe you were too kind. You need to change that. You need to go within. You are responsible also of what happened. Not responsible in a way where you need to boom, 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 and bang your head, no. Responsible, okay, all right, that's okay. It's a percentage of me. And not only that, I have other qualities, because that's the problem. When they have an ordeal, especially emotional ordeal, or that creates a cloud inside the person and a tsunami sometimes. That's why we can have dreams about tsunami or like thunderstorms or hurricanes, whatever, tornadoes, because the elements in us, the 4 elements, the energy, the air, the thoughts, etc., the emotions are like completely disorganized, because there's too much accumulation of tension, and eventually, boom, and we see this in dreams. So the process of transformation is, and to come back to ourselves, makes eventually the situation more clear. And also, if you cannot say it's your fault, you can say, okay, all right, I have something to learn from this. There's a reason. I have created that. Yes, because I have allowed him to talk to me like this before. And then he started to be violent physically, but at the beginning it started verbally. And I was afraid, losing this, losing that. I was protecting the children. I didn't want to say to my sister, the neighbors. I was like living for, the superficial dynamics and also a form of survivals. But I should have said no. The first word that was violent. I should say no. After 2 weeks, he did something and said something that was not polite, not respectful. He said, no. I love you, my love, but no, change that. And at the beginning, love is very powerful. A person can reprogram very fast. But with time, they take you for granted. They take the other person for granted. Violence is a process that starts with accumulation. We let the other person creates this conflictual environment. Because a conflict, before it is a war with armies that are, about to clash, it starts with small things. And if we work right away, this is what wisdom is. We don't wait to have a big problem. No. We change the situation as soon as it is presented. And it's the same thing in education with a child. If you don't say anything to a child, I see sometimes in certain country, the sons, are very naturally somehow dominating their mother. And they are like not respectful for the mother, and the father is not saying anything because he's a boy, so he's making, his territory, and that's natural, and we need to handle that, so he's becoming a great leader. But that's not a right leader. If you don't respect your mother, you cannot be a good leader. You'll be a tiger, but you're not going to be a leader. You'll be selfish, centered on yourself, thinking only about yourself, not about your wife when you grow up, not about your children. And sometimes the mother is like, she has been following the education of her family, so it's like this. He's like this. He's my son, and I love him, and I'm so kind, so nice. I never say no to my son. He's my son. Hey, no. A son and a daughter, same education. When you're not polite, being impolite, it's for everyone. There's no specific category for that. You see, we need to transcend our life, our traditions, our religions, to keep everything that is right and beautiful. Yes, all religions are beautiful and wonderful and traditions, but we need to question it. So we evolve also, and it's fine to do that. It's good and very important. Consolation that may soothe us, and then we can right away sleep and things like that. It can happen. It can happen. Yes, it's true. And it's okay. You accept that. It's already good. The person comes for a therapy, you start to talk, and then you can do like a healing session, or there's a moment, and then there's not a lot of talking. The person is just like feeling good, and then you can just meditate with the person. You can start to do the mantra, and you can start to be with the person, and the person feels already good in a way where she has never been approached by someone that has a good energy like you. So for the person, it's already a miracle, because the parents were tough, the family is tough, and then an oasis becomes the office of the therapist. So that's why there's no one formula. It's not like, it's not like mechanics where you need just to adjust this and do this, which is like this can be broken, or this or this or that, and there's about 10 choices because it's a small pieces of mechanics. The consciousness is huge. The memories, the multiple memories coming from many lives, and you cannot erase that like this and say, okay, I do like 2-3 prayers and it's out of you and you are totally healed. No. Yes, the prayers will help. Yes, the meditation will help. Definitely, it will help release tension and this, but it will not solve anything or everything. Let's say like this. It will not solve everything. It will maybe just help support in a certain way. To really change, we need to change the codes that generated the problem. So we need to talk about it. We need to study the memories. We need to do and inscribe new values, because the values are fundamental codes. And when they are not there, you can help, but if the help is not deep enough, then the process of change will be very light somehow. But that doesn't mean that you do a session and the person's the first time, and eventually the person, you start to talk and do, and then suddenly, woof, she's falling asleep. Great, beautiful, wonderful. That's wonderful. Maybe it's the first time that the person is really feeling well. So we adapt ourselves, we do this with sacredness, and we respect, and we that's very important. When we are a therapist, we are a father, a mother. We are there for advice. And no question, no answer also. That's why question the patient. Question the patient. Let the patient express. Then, that's why with the amazing DSSI portal that you are using for this DSSI training, every week we answer your questions through the dreams you have, of course, because it's a dream interpretation journey. But at the same time, it can be a sign, it can be this, and then you analyze it like a dream. It can be that also. And then explanation will come. And it's very, very profound, of course. And when we study dreams, we go also straight to the code, the root cause of many, many things. And only one dream, well interpreted, can change an entire life and a system of habits. When over-counseling weakens us and makes us more vulnerable, that is true. That is true. In a way where, poor you, oh yeah, this should not happen to you. You are like, put aside, and this is not right. You can even make a person angry. You can even prepare a conflict. You can even destroy a family or a couple if you're not a good therapist. This is very important what you say and the kind of advice, because the person is so open that when you talk, you enter in the unconsciousness. You bypass sometimes the consciousness of the person. The person is like like a baby, like a child, like being nourished by something new. And if the person is trusting you, it's so much can be done in a good way, but also in a bad way. So, and being vulnerable will be like, poor you, poor this, poor that, this is not right in this. And then you don't have any clue, you don't have any answers. It's just the world that is abounding you. You don't understand that you create this world. You talk to this world, you communicate, you do things. Sometimes you don't do things. So the world is answering back. There are parents sometimes, they say, in a consultation at the clinic, oh, my son, he's 15 years old. It's so difficult, so intense, so difficult. I'm a good person. I've given him everything I have. He's my son. I love him. I have done everything. Everything. I'm going to tell you the problem. You haven't said enough no. You have said too much yes. And all too much yes. It's not right. You should have said no when it was not right. You wanted too much to be loved. You were weak. You were afraid of your son. You have given the power to a child. You knew it was not right, but you just pleased him all the time. So you made him. He became a little monster now. So of course he's selfish. Of course he's angry. Of course he doesn't have what he wants because he has scaled up everything. And you have let him do this process. Victimization. Why do some people prefer to wallow in the victim role? Because it's more easy. It's more easy. That's why. It's not my fault. I'm great. I'm wonderful. I'm good. I am the best of the best. I'm a spiritual person. I'm so good. How come people are hurting me? How come my father is not respecting me? How come my boss is treating me like this? But you're too soft. You're too kind. So that's why it happens. So there are people, they are always trapped in a situation where they are a prey of someone because they have let things play out in a way that was not right. So when you have this kind of situation, slowly, progressively, of course, but when we console, when we comfort the person, we let the person express the victim mode a little bit. And eventually we say, I understand you. I understand that it is difficult. Yes. But if you come to see me as a spiritual therapist, there's a reason also why the universe sent you to me. And I'm going to open new doors. And I respect you. You take whatever you want from what I say. If you're not obliged to take everything that I say, as the law, it's you. And then you start to explain. We reap what we sow in life. We learn things also. How come this happened to you? Is this something you need to go inside and say, I should have done this or said this before? And then it starts to come out. And then you deprogram the victim through eventually, when the person is ready, you say, all right, okay. So let's go to something very, very profound, very advanced. What the person has done to you. You have done this to another person in the past. No, I have never done this. Maybe not in this life. And then, oh yeah, that's why. I understand. Most people, they react very profoundly. And when you are a spiritual therapist, you're a counselor, you're there for that. Your knowledge, the knowledge you have, becomes your tools also. And if we do this the right way, then of course the person is completely transformed. And it can take a few sessions, it can be faster in one session. It depends. But for me, for example, when I've been traveling the world for the last 30 years, helping people, as a spiritual professor, and I'm, that's what I do. I'm an expert in this field. So if I give a lecture in a country and someone has been waiting 20 minutes in lines after the conference to ask me a question, I say to the universe, okay, if you come to me, you connect with my inner computer. So there's a reason. I'm not afraid to lose you as a student. If you want to go elsewhere, bye-bye, Charlie Brown. That's not a problem. We have a lot of students at UCM. That's not a problem. I'm not here to please you. Maybe what I'm going to say is not easy or will challenge certain things that you think, but that's my role. Then it's a buffet. You take whatever you want. If you don't want that, you don't want that. It's okay. So if the person has done the line for 20 minutes waiting to talk to me to ask for a question, yes, it can be straight to the point. When the person is too much in a victim mode, often, unless I see something very fragile, mental health problems in a huge way, of course, and I can even ask inside for a sign. I ask the soul, are you ready to hear that? We learn a lot of things at the DSSI. You ask and you say to the soul, like in hypnosis, it's very, very, you connect with the consciousness, and the unconsciousness. Is your program ready to hear that? And you ask the universe before you start to talk, and suddenly the person is saying, yes, I need lights now. I need to understand. And you feel what she said is connecting with your thoughts and your question. Then you're ready. You open the door. So, of course, we don't suddenly talk to a person so fast when we are a therapist. We have a lot of subtleties. We have processes also. What is important is what you say creates a lead in the person's consciousness, something that makes them, advance progressively in the light, in what is right. The victim role can make us also very selfish, self-centered, and too focused on our personal needs. And that's why it's not easy to get out of this. There are people, it's their essence. We see this sometimes, in certain people where grieving can be connected to victim role, 100%. And they even plan this to continue for 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. They dress always in black or whatever, and they need that. And this way they always cry and they always attract attention, somehow. And they want to be loved and they want to be important also in front of people. Very complex. The human consciousness and especially unconsciousness is very, very complex. So and simple at the same time. That's interesting because we all look for love and wisdom. That's what we want. For me, love and wisdom combines all the qualities. And then you can even relate love to the feminine energy and wisdom to the masculine energy. So that's very interesting to understand that. So when a person is really self-centered, etc., and very selfish, she's going to be angry most of the time. When you start to deprogram this, you need to go slowly. You respect the steps. There's a process of discussion. The person will maybe say a lot of frustrations, a lot of unhappiness, and it's fine. It's fine. It's okay. You're somehow, like a doctor of the consciousness. So you're there to help, to heal, and healing is also coming from evacuation of accumulations. So it liberates the person just to talk about it. But there are people that they want to nourish this, and it's very tough, very, very tough. And they have a lot of suffering because of that. And it's important when we are a therapist to deprogram this. And remember, when you are a therapist, if they come for a session, you're not there to say, okay, I need this patient to come back next time. So this way, she will take another appointment and I can make money. No. You're an initiate. You represent, the universe. You do your mission with sacredness. Exchange of money, energy in therapy session, it's okay. It's fine. But it's not the reason why you do this. It's not the reason why you do this. You need to be very important in the ethics of a therapist, a spiritual therapist. This is not the place to make money. And if you become successful because one day you write a book, whatever, you need a non-profit organization. You need to do this right, not for yourself, because that's not the place. There's a lot of places to say you can make money. Okay, get a job. Get a job in the matter, and in spirituality, your mission is to help people. And when there are resources and money, they are at the disposal of the mission. Not just to calculate and become more materialistic than someone that is only thinking about finance. Finance is not a problem in life, for sure. We need finance everywhere, but we need also the wisdom to when we are in a mission, in a spiritual mission. Consolation sometimes comes via authority to help us refocus and get out of the victim-aggressor role. And it's so important to understand that. Many times I have been with police officers or people in authority, etc. And they have a strong role. And authority is very powerful for people, and especially for police officers, because they are there to represent justice. When you are a soldier, you are more on fields of larger problems or conflicts or whatever, catastrophes, natural catastrophes. So your mission is more collective. But when you are a police officer, you are more dealing with individuals. This is important to understand that what you represent is very strong. So that's why Many times I had beautiful, profound consultation with police officers, because it's a mission. It's a very difficult task sometimes, because when they arrive, they need to be strong in their values, etc. Since people are in distress, and sometimes they have committed crimes and etc. So how do we deal with that? Same thing as a baby. Same thing as a baby. You know, he has hit his brother or sister. So this is not right. So what do? It's normal. He's learning. He's a baby. He doesn't know what he's doing. So you're gonna need to give a consequence and say, you need to say, I'm sorry, you etc., etc. So you need to, and then you renew the situation. Of course, when a police officer is doing this to an adult, etc., it's not the same level of awareness, but at the same time, it should be the same pedagogy. So when you're a police officer, if you handcuff someone and he needs to go to the police station and eventually in front of the court in jail for a time, it's already big. You don't need to hit him. Maybe you need some strength when it's time to stop the person, but your pedagogy is to use the minimum strength that you can do to just stop. And you think to help the person, because the person is like a child, panicking, unhappy, all frustrated. And you understand this because you have the psychology of what you are doing. So that's very, very important too. And consolation, is very, very profound in the work of a police officer or someone in the justice system. Because we have a role to play, and our role to play should always be to help the person to renew himself, not to put it down. So we can even prepare with kindness, and of course we can be like firm and we can have rigor, and it's fine. But at the same time, once the person is in the process of just calming down, our energy is also adapting to the situation. And there are great new police officers that are there now, that understand the big picture and the power of who they are in society. There's always good people everywhere and always strange people. So the plus and the minuses exist in all professions, parents, families, whatever. There's always the plus and minus, and same in police officers, definitely, or even the army. There are great people everywhere that they can have a role to play in society. Pessimism, lack of optimism, this is something that can destroy your life, and this is how powerful the consciousness is. When I want to describe what is the energy we have inside, what is the spirit, the soul, whatever names we give, the inner worlds we have, we just need to think about mental health. When you are with people with advanced mental health problems, you see how powerful memories and emotions, the complexities it can become because of the accumulations of a long process where it's like an explosion in the character of the person just because of memories.
Look, I'd consider myself a realist, all right? But in philosophical terms, I'm what's called a pessimist.
Okay, what's that mean?
Means I'm bad at parties.
Let me tell you, you ain't great outside of parties either.
I think human consciousness was a tragic misstep in evolution. We became too self-aware. Nature created an aspect of nature separate from itself. We are creatures that should not exist by natural law.
Well, that sounds god-fucking awful, Rust.
We are things that labor under the illusion of having a self, this accretion of sensory experience and feeling, programmed with total assurance that we are each somebody, when in fact everybody's nobody.
I wouldn't go around spouting that shit I was you. People around here don't think that way. I don't think that way.
I think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
We can be very intelligent when we are pessimistic. We can start to have all kinds of, theories, alternative theories where we change things, and we see this negatively because we have a lack of knowledge somehow, of spiritual knowledge. And it's true that when we are very intelligent, if we don't have an understanding of why we exist, to develop qualities and to become better people, being intelligent can be like very, very like complicated. Why? Because you see injustices everywhere. You go out of your house and there are people sometimes that they are starving, and you have food, you have everything you need. It's not balanced, it's not right. You don't understand this. It's very complicated life. When you don't have spiritual knowledge, the understanding that we reap what we sow, and that also when we begin a process of being a new soul, we arrive here like prehistoric time. There was not much, but you didn't know. So sometimes you can be poor, but you arrive and you are a new soul and you don't know that you're poor. You don't know. You live like this and you don't necessarily know. And there are other people that they are very poor and they are frustrated, angry. Those are ancient souls. They come with a program of limitation. They need to go back to poverty because they have created it. And some people, they can be poor and they can be very happy in a kind family, humble family. Things are tough and things like that, but it's okay. Sometimes they even seem more happy than the bank manager that is very busy with his schedule. It's not the same. It's not the same from one person to another. It depends on the memories we have. We can see the glass half empty, or we can see the glass half full. If we have lacks inside, if we have frustrations, if we are like this man that we have just seen in the video, very bright person. So he's now like saying things that are appropriate in a way where he's seeing the world like this because he's missing why we exist. And if there's no God, if there's no universe, if there's no spirituality, if there's no reason except just making money and having a social statue and a nice car, and if you don't have this, then you're a nobody and your life doesn't mean anything. If you think in an horizontal way, only with matter and money, whoa, this world is a mess. It's true. I take out my spirituality and my knowledge, and my eyes are open. I see the difference in people's life, even from one apartment to another. In the other apartment, they're screaming, and they have an education that is so bizarre. And in the other one, the mother is so kind, or even too kind. And it's the children that are screaming to have more chocolate cakes. You see, the memories, who we are. It's not the place where we are that definitely define who we are. You can be very evolved in a very, very poor country, and you're going to become the next prime minister, or you're going to have great responsibilities because you're an old soul. Very easy for you to, you have a mission to accomplish. The universe has put you to develop new qualities, advanced qualities. Yes, everything is possible. Yes, it's true that in certain conditions, it might be more difficult. But if you look at this in the quality perspective, you can always change. I remember myself giving lectures in orphanage and sharing with teenagers of 13, 14, 15 years old, doing plus minus code school program with them. I love to do this, to go in schools and help the new generation to understand the deeper codes. And I remember showing an image in an orphanage, and there was a Viking, a very aggressive Viking, a man, the photo was ugly, the man was angry, really like a terror. And I asked, there was 200 orphans, young girls, 14, 15. The room was full. And I asked them, is this man, this image, positive, negative, or a tendency, which is plus and minuses? That's the plus minus code school program. You can visit this plusminuscode.com. Yes. This is very important non-profit program that we have for schools. So, and I was so surprised. Half of the room, 100 young girls, said it was positive, and others saying it was negative, about half and half. And I was not shy. I said, to those who have said this is positive, you need to be careful. I understand you don't have a father, and he's a man. Maybe any father will be fine. But this image, this very negative image, is your next boss. And if you get a job with a man like this, he will abuse of you. Because this is a terror. This is a very dangerous person. You don't recognize it because of your memories. You need to change your memories. You need to learn. Because for you, he seems strong. He looks strong. He looks so strong, then you think he will protect you. He will not protect you. No. And he will maybe protect you by doing bad things. Killing others. Raping you maybe. Not recognizing something that was evident. Absolutely evident for a 14, 15 years old young girl. You see, that's what life is all about. The differentiation between the memories we have. And this man we have seen in this video was different than his brother. We felt they were brother. I don't know exactly in the movie, but we felt they were brothers. They were having two different ways of seeing life. A human with ears, a head, ears, hands, feet, a body, but not with the the same consciousness and unconsciousness. Transforming pessimism, knowing how to wisely cultivate positive, constructive thoughts and memories, makes it possible not to enter or maintain a constant mode of pessimism. That is true. But I'm going to go an extra step of this. It's one thing to be positive and say, I'm fine. Everything is okay. Yeah, you have a problem? No problem. It's okay. We're winners. Yeah, yeah, everything will be fine. It's over positivism is dangerous. Very dangerous, because you may not be able to recognize the Viking when there is a Viking, because he's just offering a job, and the job will be the opportunity. Instead of saying, okay, let me think about it. I don't want to work for a criminal organization. It's just, not just because the paycheck seems fine. What am I going to do? What kind of work are you asking me to do? But there are people, work, money. Yeah, okay, I take it. Whoa. What is that work? What do you have to do? There's different ways to make money. Come on, wake up. Wake up, consciousness, deep, think deep, question, improve yourself. And when you survive, of course, you can make bad choice because of that. And what I teach also in orphanage, to get out of poverty, very simple. Very, very simple. And I have seen this, and you have watched many, many movies, I'm sure, on the pursuit of happiness. And that is a good movie to watch, the Pursuit of Happiness. I think with Will Smith, if I remember well. And Will Smith did something quite special at the Oscar, but anyway, the movie is good. That movie is good. Very touching movie. Let's say you wash the dishes, you get a job, you enter in a restaurant, they hire you, you wash the dishes. Just do it with a good energy, not in a pessimistic energy and anger and feeling trapped in a job where you are nobody. No. Do it. Be happy, shine, hello, thank you, etc. Be polite. If you do this, your manager will eventually see you and say, hey, wow, he feels good. You're polite, you're respectful, you're on time. You live the qualities. You manifest them. Then you get a promotion fast. Can you go to the store? We need this. I'm giving you this money. I trust you. Just go to the store, buy this. We need this right away. Yes, sir. I'm going to do this. Yes. And then you go and you bring the change and everything is there. Nothing is missing. And you give this and then you go back and say, okay. And then he likes that. It was done easily. Do you know what a boss is doing all the time? Always checking who is the next person he can trust to replace maybe someone. Big corporations are the same. Managers are evaluating employees all the time to find the next pearl inside their system because it's growing and they have new departments and things like that. Be kind, be gentle, be positive. You go to work, do your work and do it with a good energy. Sleep well, also organize well. I know maybe you work late and you do extra hours because you're poor and you want to get out of poverty. I understand. I get it. Meditate between, the bus, the driving, time you have, whatever in the bus, Take every time to renew yourself, etc. And then progressively, things can change. But sometimes poor people, they do everything to stay poor. And I'm not talking about those who are sick, etc., that are driving big commas, This is more difficult, of course, I understand that. But there are people sometimes, they look like ghosts when they work, or they look like, they don't have emotion, or they're angry, not polite, rough energy. That's not very good for a promotion. Yeah. But their consciousness is full of memories, etc., etc. Maybe they were a boss in a past life. And now they're so unhappy, they don't accept where they are. They have so much pessimistic thoughts in them. They feel always sad, and they project that. They project that negative energy, and people feel that. Yes, of course they feel it. They see it. It's obvious sometimes. It's not even subtle. So we need to transform that, and we need to say, no, life is about developing qualities. I have to go to work. I have to do this. Every time I do something, I do my best. I do my best, and if I have not finished, completed, I explain why. If I was not lazy, it should be understood, And if it's not understood for any reason, then we say, okay, yeah, I'm going to try this and improve this, whatever. And eventually, when you're good energy, then you try to apply to other jobs also at the same time to increase the possibilities and good conditions for you. And you study, and I know it can be hard. I'm not saying it's not hard, but I'm saying that just a good attitude is about 80%, 75, 80% of the road. Rectifying our attitude, the importance of not cultivating or allowing criticism, anger to develop and build up, because negativity engenders negativity. That is true. Parents sometimes, if they are not nice and they transfer that often to the other generation, unless there's a smart kid that can just wake up from this and do great, which is possible too. And if he arrived in a tough family, there's also a program for the child and the situation. And that doesn't mean, this being said, that doesn't mean that we cannot have, the system that allows the best of the best for everyone. No. We don't need to separate things. In schools, poor kids and rich kids, whatever, they can be having a life together. And there are ways to arrange this in societies. When it's done, it's good. When it's not done, of course, it amplifies problems. I understand. But if we cultivate, critics and anger about so many things, we don't understand our program. We should accept it. We arrive in a family. There are pluses and minuses, and we need to learn, question our parents, our family, our traditions, and improve everything on the way. That's what a life is. And that is why spiritual knowledge is so important. Imagine if we can hear this in a school, a class. This is the mission of UCM one day also, to create systems of schools from kindergarten. We have already a kindergarten as a wonderful lab that is absolutely amazing, and we provide our education. You should see, the children are so bright just because the educators and those who are in the kindergartens with them, they have a good energy. They have real sentiments. They are nice, kind, they encourage, they talk about qualities, and they improve that. If you have a person that is sad, angry as a professor, not easy to learn. You always protect yourself more than anything else. So negativity engenders negativity. So if you are unhappy about something, accept it. Accept it. I know it's tough. I know it's difficult. Maybe you don't have this or that. But This is not what is important. What is important is that you develop a new quality. Focus on the qualities. You will have everything after. If you have the qualities, sooner or later, things will come like a natural movement when the fruits are already in a tree. Taking time to appreciate our life and the positive side of things with a global vision engenders inner support and consolation. If you have a good energy, you attract good energy, good people. Naturally, it's like this. It's the law of energy, of resonance. It will be like this for you. Nourish, cultivate this, be spiritual. It's not what we do that is important, it is how we do it. Improve, work on yourself. Don't work for money only. Money is okay, you need money, that's fine, but it's already discussed anyway. You know your paycheck. So do your job inside, in your work, in your family, in your personal life, in every aspect of your life. Develop the qualities. The beginning of a new creation is something so important, like a child, for example, or a new relationship, or a new job, or everything that is new, a new couple, everything. The beginning is very important. If you don't program the first codes the right way, you create different orientations. If you scream at a child, the child will be eventually fearing, diminished, maybe he will be fragile, or he's going to, boom, become like a bull, and he will really react because, screaming creates a disorganization naturally. Even a plant, if you talk negatively, I don't want you to do this test. But if you scream at a plant, if you are angry in a place where there's not a good energy, in a room, in a house, the plant is not healthy. Normally, you will not even put water because you're angry. So you don't think about the plants. The plants you need to have love. You need to have a good energy to take care of the plants, because the plants are normally the last thing you're going to do. So you see, it's all connected. And a new creation needs fire, air, water, and action that are beautiful, profound. And the more the qualities are deep, the more it generates a fruitful life on all levels. Working with Angel Yeyazel helps to restore and revitalize also our body so we can recuperate our full potential and good energy and health. What is a mantra? How powerful it is. Let's say you say, I'm joyful. Okay? I'm joyful, I'm joyful, I'm joyful, I'm joyful. I'm joy, 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 joy. I'm joyful, joy. I'm joyful, joy. I'm joyful. Wow. You feel? Try this. Energy will be positive. And let's say, I don't want you to do this, but let's say, I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry, I'm angry. Never. You should never do this. If you repeat this, it will be so surprising what is going to come out. What you will attract also, anger, problems, things will start to break in front of your eyes. You are so powerful. So powerful. So, a mantra, qualities. When you do the mantra with the angel, you don't invoke the distortion. The distortions are linked to other names, demons, and they are not specified. You should never say the name of a devil, or of an evil force. But an angel, all the qualities condensed. It's like a program, like an update, like concentration of data. And then you say, this is what we call Angelica mantra. Very easy, very simple. And what is going to happen? The qualities, that's why this angel is linked to good energy and health. So if you do this and you do the mantra to create good energy and health, it's like saying I'm joyful, but a very sacred vibration that the universe has coded in the universal consciousness, because it's been there for thousands and thousands of years. This is very ancient. You need to understand that. And it's so ancient that this ancient teaching was in Sanskrit before. It was in Hebrew. Imagine. It was in Sanskrit. It touches all traditions. It's beautiful. Even Islam, they have the angels. They have all these essential, symbols. It's in every tradition. That's why it is in connection with your religion, with your tradition. You integrate a system of work for dreams and for expansion of integration of qualities. That's what we do when we work with Angelica mantras. Well-deserved and well-lived moments of consolation after effort. That is also very good, You need to learn to say, I'm happy. I've done some good things today. I have done some good efforts. All right, I'm taking a good tea. It's not a normal tea. It's a tea. It's a good tea, a chai, whatever we take, green tea, and we take a moment. It's a tea. It's a tea moment. It's not just drinking. It's a sacred moment. One day we integrate rituals in everything we do. When I prepare a tea, it's never a normal tea. Never. I even invoke angels. Angelica mantra, when I prepare it, and then for me, I put the vibration, the sacredness of, and I am in connection with the water, the elements, the symbolic aspect of warmth. It will bring me warmth. It will be like a hug, my tea. You see, when you take it and you are happy. And that's important, that you create this for you, not just your spouse or your family, your mother, whatever. No. Yourself, for yourself. You just take a shower. You thank the water. You thank God for the water. You thank the universe for this beautiful moment. Be spiritual. Create rituals. Rituals will make you more at peace, more concentrated also on the development of the qualities, the reason why you exist. Repeat it. Repeat the divine laws that you will find at the end of the Book of Angels, Dream Science Meditation also. Connect yourself. Read a page of the dictionary, the source code of the foundation of UCM, just to connect. Always connect. This will help you so profoundly to create this sphere of work that will transform you, and you will become that knowledge. That's spiritual autonomy. The tools, the knowledge is there to be integrated, not just to be listening. It is there to be integrated. Knowledge is becoming. That's the strength. Rejoicing, joy, is also part of this profound angelic mantras. And it's so beautiful when it is well lived. This is so beautiful, so touching to see this. It's a beautiful ritual. And if we analyze each child, depending if they have chosen the heart, the hands, or the music symbol, they have expressed themselves so differently from one child to another. It's so profound that even parents should have the clip of how your child has, expressed himself through the choices of the symbol, of the way he has reacted after. We could see sometimes some were more shy, some were more like in needs of love also. It was expressed in different ways. It's so beautiful. It's a very, very good idea. That's for sure. Parents and consolation. When we are parents, and I love to share this and explain that the parents concept is not something just when we have children. We should be like this with people at work. We should be like this, with our family, everywhere. It's a profound understanding that when we are a parent, we wish the best for the other person. We give the best of our energy, you see. But we should be also capable of saying yes and no, because Well, I remember giving, before the pandemic, I remember giving a lot of class in universities and management. Also, I've been doing this for many, many years now. And I have many universities that are coming now for this year for these kinds of symbolic language in business, EQ business we call. And we talk about this, the understanding that when we are a CEO, when we are a manager, when we work in a corporation, whatever, we should be a parent. And some of them, sometimes I have this question, yes, but if we are a parent, they will abuse, our employees will abuse of us. Aha. So then I explain, I'm sorry, parenthood is not well balanced, and you might have problems at home because of your answer. Because a real father and a real mother is there to put a good justice system. Real yes, real no, also consequences in the right way, respectfully, not to destroy the other person, but to make this right. So we should be able to express this everywhere. So, and if we have this good energy, then we create a family system in the corporation. And this is the best places and concept we can imagine, because we are there so many hours, sometimes more time at work than with our own family. And being in a good energy like this creates another level of involvement for employees, because they don't feel that they work in a place where they don't receive respect, consolation or understanding, etc. Of course, it's not a hospital, a place to work. There are, things to do, but applying this very profound knowledge of caring for people can only bring the best of everybody. Intention in comforting is also very important. It's one thing to give a hug. Imagine you give a hug and you don't care. You just give a fake hug. This is like a poison, a gesture of caring, and you just do this with disdain or haughty attitude. We see this sometimes. There are people, they are not like at ease to have a moment of connection with others, because they judge, they think they are more important, complex of superiority, inferiority. And intervening also too much or not enough is not right. It's the same thing in education for our children. It's not right. When a child is playing, if you overprotect the child, you will have the problems, because the child will build fragility. He will not be at ease with difficulties or problems. Of course, you secure everything, the environment, you always have an eye, especially on a baby. That's very important. But at the same time, we let, the energy and the experimentation being done. If he is like trying to do something and it's a little difficult, instead of right away being there, just wait that he's going to ask politely, be there, let him do his work. Because too much is not good, and not enough too is, of course, because not enough will create a form of situation where the child will be always searching and not finding, and eventually he can lose the self-esteem and he can reject the toy, etc., because he doesn't know. So the more we take time and the more we explain well in a balanced way, we have a lot of results.
Go to pinch pinch of tobacco in my pocket. I'm not gonna roll it, no, I'm not gonna smoke it till we're staring at the stars and the rockets twinkling in the silvery night. 2 sips of whiskey in the flask, but I'm not gonna drink them. I swear I'll make it last till we're drinking out of the same glass again. And though the sand may be washed by the sea, and the old will be lost in the new, well, 4 will not wait for 3, for 3 never waited for 2. And though you will not wait for me, I'll wait for you. Polaroid picture in my wallet. I'm not gonna tear it, no, I'm not gonna spoil it. It's an unspoken heartbreak, a heartbroken handshake I take with me where I go. 3 words on the tip of my tongue, not to be spoken or sung or whispered to anyone till I scream 'em at the top of my lungs again. And though the sand may be washed by the sea, and the old will be lost in the new, well, 4 will not wait for 3, for 3 never waited for 2. And though you will not wait for me, I'll wait for you. Oh, oh. And oh, 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 I'll wait for you, oh, oh. And oh, 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 and I'll wait for you, oh, oh. Got a pinch of tobacco in my pocket. I'm not gonna roll it, no, I'm not gonna smoke it till we're staring at the stars and the rockets twinkling in the silvery night.
This is so beautiful, so profound. And with the new generation, you might have this moment one day because they can be very, very strong in their energy and in their capacities. So you see, he was not judging, not angry. He was just respecting this moment, understanding that evil is educational, that crying was a process, and he was very patient. He was neutral. This is the best of the best. We should never be angry with a child. I know it's demanding. I know it can be intense being a parent. You haven't slept, you work, etc. But this is normal to have a crisis. It is normal. He's experimenting something. And because he is doing this, and this is what we call the terrible two. And you should have seen Asia, my granddaughter, and both of them, Kesana and Asia, they went through exactly like this. They are leaders, natural leaders. It's amazing. Now, Asia, this is over now. She's 4 years old. Kesana, almost 3. It's almost gone. But she had the terrible 2 period, and it was intense. Very intense, I can tell you that. And it was amazing because we even used to be, the grandparents were there, father and mother, Anthony Casara. This crisis was happening, and all of us, we were staying neutral. No one was not happy or uncomfortable. We were all having this energy and Anthony was, doing there something, to accompany. And there's a chair also. They have bought the IKEA chair. This is a chair that is very special for babies because it's very solid. And when there was nothing, they have never beaten their children, never. We should never beat a child. We give the consequences, and for Anthony and Sarah, they have used the IKEA chair, baby chair, and they were just putting, and then they're facing the wall, and they were like putting the strap, the security strap, and that's it. And they couldn't do anything, and they were crying, and it was intense. And then, sometimes it lasted a few minutes. And it was okay. And eventually, okay, do you want to get out of the chair? Yes, because sometimes you put them in the room and they can boom, bada boom, bada boom. Everything can happen. So the chair was good. Anyway, we all find our tips in the process. But this is very touching, very beautiful. And, it was like just a moment of understanding this. And by doing this a few times, maybe during the terrible too, well done. The trust you have after, when there's a problem, your calmness as a parent, etc. Because your intention are even more important than your action for a child. Remember this. Your intention are even more important than your action, what you think, what you have inside. If you do everything well, organic, this, that, and then you are unhappy when you cook because you don't like that, or you don't, you're not happy to change a diaper, and it doesn't smell good, and then you're always calculating your efforts. You calculate your efforts. You calculate your time to help your child. It's the bath. You're not happy. You this and that. Everything is a joy when we help a child. It's a joy. It should be like beautiful. And then the child feels so great just because inside, you have created an environment where whatever happens, you stay like a lighthouse. You are a lighthouse for your child. Because if you disorganize yourself inside, unhappy, the gulum, the small gulum energy, the child is feeling, what is happening to my mom and my father? They're supposed to be my role model. And I'm not happy, and because of that, they are unhappy. They should be happy. Where am I going to find the energy of happiness if there's no happiness when I'm not happy? So, maternal consolation, it's not just for a woman. I'm surprising you. Of course, when we are a man, we cannot breastfeed. That's for sure. We know that. We cannot deliver a baby. We understand that. But the feminine polarity is also in us. And a man should be as good as a woman to change diapers, should be as good as a woman to prepare the milk, to prepare whatever, or the food, whatever, in the process of the years of being a parent. And so being a mother and being a father should be in the mother also. A mother is not just kind, gentle, devoted, loving, caring. She's also the authority. She is also justice. She is also strong, and she can say no without anger, because that's the difference. You never scream. You say no. No, and not no, don't do that. No, the vibration is not right for a child. We say no, hey, no. And then the child stops. Okay, wow, thank you, my love, thank you. But your no was no, boom, shing, boom. It was not like, no. This is expansion. Like, do whatever you want. Oh, we. That doesn't mean no. No. Hey, no. No. Boom. We feel the energies like dance. Boom. That is very important, the codes. And then right after, you don't keep like a revenge energy because he has not been right, your child, and then 20 minutes later you continue to argue on what happened 20 minutes ago. No, it's over. It's done. It's over. He has said, I'm sorry, and a child is like, 20 minutes after, it's like 20 days for him. You know, he's full of life energy. He has passed this. His memory are more present moment. He's very strong in the present moment. And we should be like this also. We should learn to forgive easily and turn the page. Okay, you said you're sorry. All right, go. The door is open again. Play. That's fine. Then limitation, open, limitation, open, limitation, open. When there are, of course, small consequences to put. And we never hit a child. Never. Never. This is not what we should do. We should learn to, yes, maybe the corner, maybe the chair, the IKEA chair. You know, something. Yes, you find a place, you find something, because they can be very intense sometimes. They can even hit. The child can be boom, 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 and he's hitting you. You don't answer like this. No. You don't answer like this. You don't answer with violence. Never, never, never. And paternal consolation, like I explained, you know, yes, a masculine energy manifested is different than a feminine energy. It is true. That's nature. It's beautiful. It's a complementary forces. But inside, I'm a man, but I am a good mother also. I'm a good father, but I'm very good. Diapers, no problem. You know, cooking, no problem. Cleaning, no problem. You know, I can do everything. It's normal. We are a team. When we are a couple, we are a team. And we have our talents that eventually set up the structure of the task force. So the importance and long-term effects of consolation on children, if it's done well, with a good energy, you develop an environment where when I do a mistake, I can forgive myself easily, I can renew myself, I don't need to hit myself, I don't lose my self-esteem, I have confidence, I renew it, I have experienced it many, many times. And this is very important to do this well. And consolation, one day your child is so strong because you have done this well that he is like almost sufficient when he becomes, you know, a teenager, whatever. The years of goodness you have done creates a lot of goodness, and also a part where the child, when he becomes a teenager, is more ready for the world and for collective experimentation. He's going to have other steps to learn. I understand. I get it. But if the basic codes are not done well, he's going to be tough with himself, difficulty, you know, as soon as there's difficulty in an exam, it will be difficult, etc. Because the way you have comfort him will be the way he's comforting himself also. How can we console a teenager? So the teenager is another step in the process of education. You are the parent and you become the friend at the same time. You cannot do the same thing with a child. You need to have more conversation, more communication. It has to be an open dialogue. This is important to create this environment. You cannot impose unless there are lots of problems. Because yes, sometimes we need to put the police hat when we are a parent, and it's okay to do this and put special measures. But we open the possibilities, and if you have not done this too fast also when they were young, you still have margins of being a parent, because the worst thing is when they have, for example, starting from 6 years old, always sleeping at his friends, like, everywhere like this. No. This is not good. Home, you sleep home. If you start too soon certain experience, or if you start too soon where the uncle or the auntie is always saying, do you have a boyfriend? Do you have a girlfriend? Yes, I know you have. I know you have. What is the name? You're hiding it to uncle or to daddy or to mommy. And he's 6 years old, 5 years old, 4 years old. You create this world in him. I need to find someone. I'm not right. I don't have a boyfriend, a girlfriend. So at 7, 8, they will have one. And it's too soon, because you have, through the jokes and everything, you have programmed codes in the child. So a child is a child. He doesn't need to be everywhere. He doesn't need to be always on video games and things like that. If you put too much video games, too much, he's always on the phone. When he's going to be a teenager, he's an addict of technology. Too much is not right. Not enough is not right also. We live in 2023. That's okay. But not too much. And the good games, etc., etc. Remember, it's a AI. A child is an AI, a SI. So a spiritual intelligence. So he's coding all the time. So when you consult a teenager, you need not to judge also. And it's true, the teenager is sometimes like a little tiger. He's sometimes more intense. You need to understand teenagers. You've been a teenager. Remember that also. How you were. Yes, it's different now than it was, but it's still the same process. A lot of pheromones, a lot of hormones, chaos, intense characters. One day they are down, the other day they are up. They are very collective. Friends are more important than you. It's normal. It's normal. It is normal. So sometimes you say something, sometimes you let go, you let them, you wait for something important to say. If you talk too much, you will lose your credibility. If you don't talk enough, the same thing. Need to find the equilibrium. So when something is too much is not acceptable. That's for sure. And not enough is not acceptable. Find the balance. Find the balance. And understand it is experimentation that are in process. But check. Put hours, depending on the age of the teenager. Don't give too much permissions, because too much will be adding more and more after. And most of the problems during the teenage years comes from the childhood. They were too much egotism, etc. And it is all only increasing when they are a teenager if the basic codes have not been programmed properly. How can we consult a parent? When we consult a parent, of course, we need to respect the living years and what the person is going through. It's different than when it is your children. Your children, you have more direct, implication. When it is a parent, it depends also of the level of connection you have. The more the connection are beautiful, the best it is. But we should always be there, because when we comfort a person, we increase the bonding. And it is a responsibility. We don't judge. we say with empathy, I understand, and it's normal, and we bring knowledge. That's why having the DSSI training will help you everywhere. You will see it will be beneficial for every aspects of your life. So when we consult a parent, we need to also be able to say the right things and to be able to communicate with respect. What is very good is first you begin with compliments, with love. They just want you to love them. That's the relationship with our parents. So we say to them, I love you, Daddy. You're so important. I admire you for so many great things you have done. But this is something that, yes, and it's normal to improve, etc., etc. It depends what you have to say, of course. It depends the subject of and the question. Let the question comes also. Don't try to give too much advice. Sometimes you cannot be like an open book with everybody, even with your mother and father. We wish it could be different, but it's not always that easy. It can even create more problems or tensions, etc. Avoid conflicts, avoid problems. Try to respect their world. Listen to the question and answer. Yes, follow the subject, question the situation. How do you think? What happened? And then give your advice wisely. Don't try to dominate a parent when you try to console them. So we will have the possibility to continue our masterclass tomorrow. And I welcome you to the DSSI program for all of you, for our new students and our students also that are continuing their training. I wish you an extraordinary year of discovery. And we are there for you, all our professors, assistant professors. Our nonprofit organization is a real mission. It's a true devotion for us to be with you and to bring the best of you. Because knowledge, spiritual knowledge, and will bring a lot of changes in your life. And take time to do these changes. There's a lot of knowledge that you have now received today. Meditate, reread your notes, etc. And then, you can process this. We don't learn everything in one session. It's not like that. It's a process. Welcome to DSSI.